This tire here is flat. I noticed that last time I mowed over at the rental. Yeah, they didn't get a real smooth cut over there. Hi, I'm Matt, and this is Procrastination Garage. Welcome. It's 3 p.m. on a Monday afternoon, and from the looks of my lawn, I should be out here mowing it. And maybe you can tell that I started to mow it. That was like a week ago. Yeah, I didn't get very far. Yeah, Bailey's out here too. Let me show you why. Mowing along, just minding my own business, and that ain't right. One of the steering arms came loose, and of course I tried popping it back in place, and it stayed for all of 2 seconds before it popped loose again. So I quickly jumped on Amazon, placed an order, and it said, hey, if you order within 7 hours, they'll be here tomorrow. Yeah, Amazon lied. They did not get there the next day. They got there the day after that, and not until like 5 in the afternoon. So that was last week, Wednesday, Thursday time frame, Friday, even who knows. Anyway, so I didn't have a chance to do the repair. So we're going to tackle it right now so I can get back to mowing. Although we're headed out of town on Friday, I may push my mowing until Thursday because we're going to be gone for a week and a half, or almost 2 weeks. And it'd be kind of nice if the grass wasn't any deeper than it had to be. I have no idea how I'm going to get those ends unbolted because they're up underneath there, kind of a hard spot to get to. But I do know having the mower deck in the way wasn't going to help. So it's out of there. Now I'll crawl up underneath there, look around a little bit, see what I can figure out. Okay, maybe not so bad. I need one size wrench for the top, smaller for the bottom, and then just do some heaving and hoeing. Got things in the way, but that bracket there is part of the steering bracket, so it'll rotate left or right. So let me get this one loose and I'll show you. We're making progress. The broken one, the one on the right hand side of the mower, passenger side, it's called passenger side. So this is a part that had come loose from here. Alright, so this was already, yeah, see, it's slit fit. So that was already separated. So in order to get this piece off, I used a little impact driver. This is a really light duty one, so it didn't take a whole lot. And then I was able to put a 1/2-inch wrench on, let's see, 1/2-inch wrench on here, impact on the top. Now this one here, you can see is all destroyed. No such luck. This is the part here that is up inside. It's up high, it's hard to get at. I can get a wrench on it, but I could not get it focused. I could not get it to turn, not at all. So I ended up using my little 18-volt Ryobi grinder, and ideally a cutoff wheel, but I didn't have a cutoff wheel on it, so I just had a grinding disc. So I pretty much just ground away until all that was left was a little nub, and then I pounded it up through. Not ideal, but that was just the quickest way to get it done. So I'm going to go over to the left-hand side, the driver's side, and do the same thing over there. Oh, let me show you. Here's what it's going to look like. We got a 1/2-inch wrench there. Got my little baby impact up there, and I'm just going to drive it real quick, and that'll pop right loose. Let me show you when I'm done. And now here's the other end. I'll go ahead and I'll put a wrench on here and see, but my guess is it's going to be too tight. And if that's the case, I'm just going to grind right above the little purplish piece there, and just grind until I'm all the way through. Well, let's just say I'm glad I tried the wrenches first. That one actually popped right loose and unscrewed with just the 2 wrenches. Nice. So that was all the hard part. Easy part's putting it all back together. So let's go match this piece up with the new pieces. Hope they match. Ah, crap, it doesn't match. Look at the bend's in the wrong place. Now what am I going to do? Oh, maybe try that one instead. Look at that. Perfect match. Okay, so these have adjustable ends on them, so you can adjust the toe in and toe out on the front of your mower. So right now it is set up, it looks to be the exact same length as the one I pulled out of there. So I'm probably going to go ahead and put it in that way. Now the way you have to adjust these, you actually have to disconnect this end, spin it, put it in. So like I said, we'll put it back together the way it is, and then we'll worry about seeing if we need to adjust it later. Check that out. This side is back together. I mean, it only took me about 5 minutes to get it bolted back in there. No big deal. Now let's do the other side. Got the right side all done. Everything's back together. She's ready to mow. Well, okay, not quite ready to mow, but getting there. As soon as I put the mower deck back, the mower deck is back installed and we're ready to mow, I think. So let me show you the mower deck when you put it back. On this Craftsman GT 6000, you can see that rod going across there. This is the back of the deck, and it goes across and it sticks through a hole in the deck, piece sticking up, and you got to put a cotter pin on it. I'll show you the other side in just a second. That cotter pin clip thing there on the bottom right, that's the one that comes across. That's the first one you install. That one there to the left, we'll get to that in a minute. The second step is this rod here, which comes across from the front and it goes into the front of the deck, and you got to get a little cotter pin in that one. So this is what I do number 2. For number 3, I'm on the left hand side of the tractor. I go ahead and put this rod that runs horizontal. I clip it in place, put the cotter pin on it, and then at the back you've got this adjuster here that runs vertical. Put that back and stick the cotter pin in it. Then you go around the other side and do the same thing. Do this one front and this one back. And when you first start this process, you want to put your mower deck all the way down on the ground. Don't push it down any harder than you have to, but just get it down so it's sitting level on the ground. The last thing you'll do is install the drive belt, which goes around the front pulley, and you do it with this lever right here. Just, whoops, didn't mean to do that, but that releases it, takes the tension off of it. Anyway, so now that it's routed, we'll take this, put it, hard to do one-handed. Alright, I wasn't able to do it one-handed, so there's two-handed. Put it back. It's one thing about these Craftsman mowers, they've got one of the easiest systems for removing the deck. Hey everybody, just a quick break. Do me a favor, hit the like button or the dislike button, leave me a comment, please subscribe, and please tell all your friends. Thanks. It's Thursday afternoon, around, I don't know, 1:30, and we are in Santa Barbara, California at my mother-in-law's place. And while I thought I would come down here and not have any Procrastination Garage content, as it turns out, I do. We've got a shed to work on. Let me show you. When we got here, that piece of black plastic was on top of this little shed. It was the roof. Makeshift roof. Because the real roof, right there, had blown off in a windstorm a couple months ago. And that was the fix that somebody did. Not a very good one. Certainly not long term. Here's the inside of the shed. As you can see, not much protection right now. This shed has been here forever. Probably installed when the mobile home was installed back in the late 70s, I believe. Maybe early 80s. Anyway, it's held up pretty well, but not quality construction. So, as I did a little investigation yesterday, what I determined was most of the structure is just 2x2s, and a lot of the 2x2s exposed to the outside have rotted. So today I went and bought some lumber, and mainly replacement 2x2s. We're going to put them around the perimeter on the outside. There's not one currently on the back, although I think that's it down there on the ground if you can see it. And then there's one on each side and across the front. And as you can see, the rot has taken its toll. So we'll put new ones up there. We're going to reuse this piece of roof metal. It has some issues of its own, which I'll show you as we get moving along. But first step is going to be to remove the wood on the outside that's already here. Alright, there's that other 2x2 right there. This one across the front, it needs to be replaced. It actually wasn't too bad except for this corner right here is pretty bad. And if you look on the inside, the 2x2s that are everything on the inside, it's all in good shape, notwithstanding the quality of the construction using these staples and stuff. But you know what? It's good enough. So anyway, let me get the outside wood off and I'll show you. I forgot to tell you, FYI, the way like this piece here is installed, well, sorry, the piece on the outside, it's got a quarter inch drive screw, a couple of them going through. So I'll remove those from the inside. Same with on that side right there. That's what holds them. So let me get those out. One more detail we want to take notice of is the way these corners are laid out. So this front piece here overlaps, extends out beyond, and then this piece here connects into it. So we're going to replace that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and screw up a whole 8-foot sheet across there, or 8-foot piece, and then we'll come in and do the ones on the side butt up against it, and then I'll just cut off the excess. Without too much difficulty, the 2x2s around the perimeter are now down, gone. And here's our replacement lumber. So don't let anybody tell you that a Toyota Venza doesn't make a good lumber hauler. It'll get some 8-foot material in there. 5 2x2s, 1 2x4. As it turns out, we have a small change in plans. This shed is a little over 8 feet, or a little under 8 feet wide. So an 8-foot 2x2 extends over just the right amount on each side. I wasn't anticipating that. I thought I could just slap a board up there and cut off the excess at the end. So now we're going to take the side pieces and go ahead and mount them to the front piece and then drop them down into place. That way we'll be even side to side. I won't have to worry about a bunch of funky measurements. So I've got some things that I'm going to use. I've got these corner brackets. I'm going to put one of these on the top of each intersection there. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a deck screw through the end of this. It'll go into the end of that. I'll show you in a minute. That's the first corner right there. Got the little L bracket up there. Got a single screw through there. Now I'm going to go do the other front one. Both front corners are done, and I've got it dropped down resting on this trim piece here where the old one was. Now you see I've got a big gap in here. There was a gap in here before, but it wasn't that big. But this 2x2 is not straight all the way across. So the old 2x2, certainly from the middle to the end, was pulled tight. So I'm going to go ahead and screw that. And then we'll put a screw in this one and we'll pull it straight. And then we'll start working on the back. And FYI, we're resting on a 2x2 on the back here, which is kind of high. I think it'll be all right. I've got 3 screws secure in the front, and this one here I adjusted so can you see the gap of daylight? Probably not really well. Let's look out from this way. See the gap of daylight there? So that is straight and matches what it used to be. Now we're going to work our way down the sides. I'm just going to kick that board at the back there away and put a screw in the back, and then we'll end up cutting a piece to go across the back once I get both sides secure. Both sides are secure at the back. This side's got 2 screws in it, so the other side's only got 1, but I'll add another one. Now I'm getting ready to go on the inside, and basically this metal here, I'll screw it back to this piece right here. I'm stopping to regroup again. If you look at this board as it goes down, it curves at the end down there, and that's because I screwed it in and sucked it up tight, and I'm not sure if that's right or not. What I really need to do is get the roof on and see how the roof fits, and before I can do that, I need a center support going across. There was a 2x2 across there. I'm going to put a 2x4 laying horizontal, vertical, laying so it's wide. That makes it, you'll see when I do it. So I need to get that cut. Looky there, got the center cross piece bolted and screwed in place. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the roof up on here and look at it and see how we need to adjust. The roof panel is back in place and we're committed now. I've got a row of screws going down the center here. I need to do the other side. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to cut the 2x2 that goes across the back. Time for an update. The piece across the back is in place now. Of the 2x2s, they gave me one really crummy one. This was not Home Depot. This was a local lumber yard, and they had the wood set out for me. And honestly, I didn't notice it, or I'd have had them change it. But 1 out of 5, I guess that's not so bad. Anyway, so I put the crummy one here at the back, so you can see it's not all that great, but it's covered by this trim piece anyway. Anyway, it's got a screw in it. It's cut to length. So the thing left now is I've got 2 more 2x2s. I'm going to put one across about here and one across about here. And originally I was going to screw the roof down to them, But the more I think about it, it was never that way before, and why put more holes in the roof if I don't need to? So they'll just be supports, but they'll be there. So I guess that's the next thing I got to cut. And once those are in place, then we can start screwing the roof down the rest of the way. It's about 5:30 and I'm wrapping up for the evening. I have the metal roofing back installed and it won't leak, except for right there where there's a hole. So the only holes going across, standard holes, are these screw holes. Those are the screw holes from before. I reused them. And then around the perimeter here, we're not going to have an issue with leaks. These are the screws that have little rubber gaskets. I've got some to do up there at the front of the shed. I'll show you in a minute. I only had one bad spot right here that kind of tin canned on me. And the reason is because it's just been bent back and forth too many times. And you know, it's part of the reason there's a hole right there. So let me show you from the inside. So you can see I got 3 supports. The middle support that used to be a 2x2, and I went ahead and upgraded to a 2x4. And honestly, the reason I upgraded to a 2x4 is because those holes that were already there, I wanted to make sure I would hit wood underneath them. And it's going to be easier to hit the broadside of a 4 than a 2. This was a new 2x here. And then, I don't know, I don't count well. I was one short on purchasing, but I did have one decent 2x2 left over from before. So I reused that one back there. I was going to put screws down through that, but then I thought, you know what, why? So you can see I do have a few places to patch from the top. Right there, little one there, little one there, and then the big one there. So I bought some of that Flex Seal tape and some other stuff that I'm hoping will go over the top of it, and we'll do that tomorrow. One thing I don't like here is if any water gets up under here this way, it'll come down underneath the wood and onto the wood and cause it to rot, which you did before. Now, we're kind of undercover here. The garage or the carport extends over a little bit, but get a little bit of wind, else to be a problem. But I found some flashing pieces. They were for some reason along the back. It makes no sense because they didn't need to be on the back. They really need to be on the front. So I'm going to go ahead and insert underneath this so it'll be flashed this way. So if any water does get through. And the flashing, it's not in greatest shape. There's one little rip in it. But it'll be way better than what we've got going on now. So I'll probably go ahead and do that right now before I go. Oh, so if you look down the roof there, you can see how it's kind of buckled up. But it is what it is. No big deal. Alright, I'm happier now. I've got flashing there. I mean, in theory, there ought to be flashing down along the side too. But I'm not worried about it. So anyway, so rain, if it hits the top here, it'll pretty much go that way. That's not true. I've got the flashing on the wrong side. It is now 6 o'clock and I've got that flashing on the front. Is it really a good job of flashing? It's not perfect. I've got the flashing over the top here. So water can still, in theory, be driven up here and back. It'll be a lot harder. Any water that does just come up and over will at least fall on the outside of that 2x2 now. Again, still got nothing down there. You figure the original 2x2s lasted for 50 years, about that. So I think we're good. The goal here isn't really to make this shed perfect. The goal is to be able to pass inspections in the mobile home park when they come looking for problems. So this way they won't find anything wrong with the shed. So we'll finish up tomorrow. It's Friday morning around 8:30 a.m. and let's get this shed project wrapped up. So what's left? Trim pieces. This trim piece here goes across the front at the top, and then on each side is a piece like that with a part that wraps around the front. Now my first thought was just to put this up like that and just rest it so it's all the way down. A couple of screws in through here, which is what was done before. The problem is when you come around to the front, that piece there would not be sitting high enough to clear the door when you open it. So in the end, I've decided to split the difference, mount it about halfway up, plenty of door clearance, and will be easy enough to figure out. Just eyeballing it. I'm going to start with the right side, come around to the left side, and then we'll fit this piece across the front. I'm happy with that. How about you? Good. Both of the side trim pieces are installed. Now the one across the front. Actually, it needs to slide over these from both sides. So I wanted to get the side ones up first. So I will loosen up one screw on this one to give me a little bit of room to move it that way. I will slide that piece over this one, put that one back, and it'll be in place, and we'll put a couple screws across the front. That looks pretty good, right? Well, okay, the whole shed needs a washing. I'm planning on doing that when we finish up. So now the only thing left is a trim piece across the back. One piece left to do, that piece right there. So what I'm thinking is I'm actually gonna flatten out one edge so I can maybe tuck it up underneath here, better protect. I'm not sure exactly how they did it before. I think it was just sitting over the top of this, and I don't think there was any protection for the wood whatsoever. I'm not sure. It certainly didn't wrap around the corners. So we're just gonna do it our own way. Are we happy with that? You bet. All right, so we're gonna keep most of the water out of this. Pretty good shape. Well, except for the hole in the roof. That's our next thing we're gonna do. I need to somehow wash all the dust and stuff off the roof. I'll look around, see if I have a sponge or something. I'm thinking I've got a Swiffer, and I'll use that. That ought to be good enough. Next up, we're dealing with the holes in the roof. You can see there's a few, some bigger than others. That's the biggest one right there. Right there. There, got a couple more over here somewhere. So our redneck solution, we're going to try the as seen on TV flex tape and a little bit of flex paste. So my goal is to put a little patch on the inside and a bigger patch on the inside, on the outside, and then on the really big one we might go ahead and cover the patch with some flex paste. I've never used this. I don't know how sticky it is. We'll find out, and we'll see if I feel we need to use more of the flex paste over the other ones on the outside. I really don't have a clue. Progress update. On the inside here, I just put a little bit of the sealing tape on the inside. Everywhere except for I've got one little spot right here on this seam. I didn't figure there's any point in putting it on the inside of that one. But all the other ones, I've actually got 2 layers on this one because it had a sharp edge on it. So that's what the inside looks like. On the outside, starting with a patch like that, and then I'm using the paste, which was in the other container, and I'm covering the whole patch with that. So then I think what I'll come back and do, those screw heads there, they had a coating on them as well. It looked to be about the same stuff. So if I have any left over, or I may go buy some more or whatever, but I've still got the bigger hole there. I've got a pretty good hole there. I've got a hole over there, and then where that seam is right there, I'm just going to go ahead and fill it with some of this putty stuff. And then we're going to call it done. All right, I'm calling it job done. Still need to clean it, put all the stuff back in it, but the important stuff's done. Roof is back on, and we patched all the holes inside and out. I don't think it'll leak. And again, that wasn't our priority. Our priority was just to get the roof on there. But I think it sealed pretty good. I wouldn't fear putting my stuff inside of it, and that says something. So I'll do a final cleanup and show you that. That may or may not be today. There you have it. Project 100% done. I even fixed down there in the corner. That piece was coming off. Screwed it back on. Yay, all done. While we're here fixing things, there are a couple other things I could take care of real quick. Here at the front of the house out towards the street, we've got this issue going on. And then right here, we've got this piece flopping. So I've got some screws I pulled out from the shed, same color. We'll go ahead and just put them in there. It'll certainly look better than it does now. Fixed. Better than it was. There's one screw right there. Put one right there, tighten the corner up. Not perfect, but we'll get her past the next inspection. It's Monday morning, just after 8 a.m. and figured we better get to work. A week-long trip to Santa Barbara and then going camping and spending no time doing anything else. Look at this yard, jeez. Doesn't look any better over on this side. Got to get some sprinklers going too. Things haven't been watered in 2.5 weeks. So got sprinklers running on this side, gonna start mowing on the other side, and it will swap off later today, hopefully. I'm gonna run the sprinklers for about 2 hours and try and get all the way around the yard today. And while I'd just like to jump on the mower and start mowing, or at least filling up with gas first, this tire here is flat. I noticed that last time I mowed over at the rental. Yeah, they didn't get a real smooth cut over there. Yeah, I'll put some air in it first. Well, it was obvious that I haven't touched those tires since the beginning of the mowing season, because two were completely flat, not registering, and the other two were low. Fixed that, checked the oil. Had plenty of oil in it. It's kind of thick and dark, but there's plenty in it. Need to add that to the list of things to do. And then gassed her up, so I'm gonna go mow now. It's lunchtime, around noon, taking a break, so got everything mowed. I've got sprinklers running over on that side of the house now. Time to come back and do some weed whacking. And then, see the fur out there? Yeah, that's from a cat. Probably a cat fight between a couple cats, maybe mine. The color of that fur, that's the cat that doesn't belong around here, not a friendly. So I hate to see it get hurt, but on the other hand, I'd love to see it move along. Anyway, go do lunch, then come back and weed whack. Done deal. See, yeah, even got the weed whacking done. Looking out the other side, yeah, she looks pretty good. Hard to tell that I've been gone for 2.5, almost, well, probably been 3 weeks since I mowed. You can't even tell. All right, tomorrow we'll do something more productive. No, well, this was productive. We'll do something more fun. I don't know, we'll do something tomorrow. All right, there you go. We've reached the end of another episode of Procrastination Garage. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for hanging around till the end. Do me a favor, leave me a comment. Tell me about the projects you're working on or the things you're procrastinating about. Remember, my name is Matt. This is Procrastination Garage, and we'll see you real soon, within a week or no more than 2. Thanks.